right, welcome to the Youth Agenda. We'll be talking about the movement of people into APC and movement of people out of APC. And against expectation, some youth have moved from APC into PDP. Hello, guys. Welcome to the studio.
Hello. Thank you.
Yeah, I have Zebby's Prince with me and also Idris.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the youth to discuss this. Let me start from Zebby's.
Thank you, sir.
As against expectation, a whole lot of governors, senators, with their aides and all, they are moving from PDP, Labour Party and all to APC. And here we find some youth moving from APC to PDP. What is it that they are saying that we are not seeing?
Oh, thank you, Mr. The question is, should be whether you that is outside can see what the youths that are moving from APC to PDP are seeing. First question should also, another question should be, is the state, where is that state, Taraba? Kwara. Is Kwaraba an APC or PDP state? If it's a PDP state, then it is traditional, it's almost natural that the orientation that comes to the youth from their leaders would tilt towards the ruling state, the ruling party in the state. Okay, if I had a better idea what party is ruling Taraba, Kwara, I would be able to say that. But then, it doesn't really matter. I am a politician myself. I'd like to mention that recently I moved from PDP into APC.
Okay.
In my state.
What informed that?
All right. What informed that basically is because of my idea of leadership or governance. For me, I felt there's not much I can do in a party that is almost non-existent in my state for my people and for the state. Because I don't have the platform in PDP any longer. So I am one person who is oriented towards governance rather than party affinity. Okay, so I'm a young person who wants to give to the society, who want to contribute to the governance of the people.
And you believe APC is the vehicle?
Not necessarily APC, but the leadership. I believe in the governor of my state, who is in APC. It is not about the party for me. It is about the individual who is leading the government. I believe in governance more than I believe in partisanship. That's my orientation.
All right, let me come to Idris. We saw movement of people in Kwara State, and why we say against expectation, at the federal we have APC in power. Even at Kwara State, we still have APC in power. But there you see people moving away from APC, going back to PDP. That is not even in power. And at national level, PDP is almost in some shambles, no matter how you look at it. They are citing hardship, being abandoned, neglect and things like that. Do you think there is more to it, or sincerely is the hardship in the economy?
Yeah, I believe from what he just mentioned now that he said that one of the reasons is because he wants to make a positive impact. Even without him being a member of that APC. You must not be a member of APC or PDP before you can make impact. So based on the fact that you have leader who is really wanting to serve, and you believe that yes, you can work with that particular person, you can just live. For me, I'm a neutral person, and I believe that I cannot support, I will just say that I cannot support PDP or APC because this is what they are bringing. But I will support a candidate with no questionable character just because I want this particular thing done and I want to make meaningful impact to the society.
But at the end of the day, the person is still going to belong to a party in order to run.
Yes.
So if the person belongs to a party, you prefer to support the person from outside. What if you want to run? You are a youth. I mean, we are looking up to people like you to take over the mantle of this, mantle of governance and the leadership in this country. If you want to run, you still have to. Would you rather go for APC or PDP?
For the future, I really don't know, but I would say if I find it very interesting and very suitable for me, I would say, okay, I will go with the party, because I might decide to be an APC member today. Tomorrow, I will decide to be a PDP member, just because of the party structure and what their policy is.
Yes.
So if we're having a party with maybe a difficult policy that cannot operate in one or two areas where I believe it is not going to benefit me, then there's no way I can work with that party. I'd rather leave to the next.
Okay, he was talking about something that sounds like party manifesto, but we notice in Nigeria, I know you guys are very young, but I mean, you already have idea of what politics looks like. Yes. In Nigeria, we are not glued to party manifesto. As a matter of fact, the way we even cross carpets from PDP to APC and all that, it almost looks like they are the same. Yeah. But you see these youths, no matter how you look at it, they are courageously standing against their governor. Yeah. You are standing beside your governor. I mean, do you see courage in those youths moving from APC back to PDP?
Yeah, I see a lot of courage, but beyond that, I am critical about the movement.
Okay.
And the criticality comes from the place of experience. In 2017, I left the PDP temporarily. All my life I've been a PDP member, at least from 2003. I've been a card-carrying member of the PDP. But in 2017, I was disgruntled about the leadership of PDP in my ward and in my local government. So I left the PDP to YPP.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually brought YPP to my state. I was one of the stakeholders. So now this youth who left APC for PDP in Kwara, an APC controlled state. Okay. Yeah. Now, the criticality I was talking about is whether their disgruntlement came from the point that they have value to get in PDP. Or they have value to add.
Dr. Saraki is, this.
Okay.
The galvanizing point.
Generally, when people cross carpet,
yes,
it is about what value you stand to get or make, where the atmosphere or the grounds is fertile enough for you to function. It is not. I don't think it's a product of courage. Okay. For example,
it's about interest.
It's about interest. Basically, and that interest can be misguided, it can be on point, but if we were to even think about it, they are leaving APC for PDP. What impact, what value, what interest do they want to project, and how do they want to project it?
All right, Idris, let me come to you. What interest do they want to project, and how do they want to project it from Zebis? You see, like I said it earlier, that the galvanizing point in Kwara State for PDP as it is now is Dr. Saraki. So the Saraki himself at some point was a member of APC. So where is the stability of philosophy or belief in what party manifesto that these people could be chasing? Or is this stomach infrastructure having cited negligence being neglected and hardship?
Okay, you see, let me give an insight to the coming of Wike to FCT.
Yeah.
You see, him coming to FCT, we've seen about major development, even in my local government, Gwagwalada.
Yeah.
So I've seen he has built many roads and so many infrastructure. Yes. So if I'm not an APC supporter and immediately I came back, maybe I travel somewhere, I see that, okay, maybe I'm schooling somewhere, and I came back, I was like, wow, he has done a lot of good to this particular place I'm staying. Because of that, you give me that idea, that love, that passion to actually look at him as something very reasonable. So I can say, okay, start picking interest for that particular party just because I want to make that impact or that particular thing he's doing. I want that thing to continue, continued stuff.
Okay.
So I think
so interesting. So he's talking about maybe continuation of good works. In this case, people are citing non-performance in some form because neglect, hardship, they all fall out of non-performance. Do you, in general, think this government has a position for the youths?
Well, unfortunately, no, I don't think so. Well, it's a government I'm not really ready to criticize.
Okay.
Because I think that for the most part of the youth life in this country, we live to criticize the government.
Yeah.
So I'm bored about that line of action.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not really interested to talk down on the government. If anything, I am willing to see the little efforts government is making.
Okay.
But when you talk about the government having the youth, putting the youth agenda on the table, I would say I have not quite seen it. I have not quite seen it from this government. And it's very simple. Generally, how has our government, the successive government, thought about the youth and what have they done so far? If you look at the government of President Goodluck Jonathan, I thought he significantly considered the youth in his some of his economic policies. And the intentionality he displayed, he portrayed about those policies. Now you look at the government of President Buhari, youth were only mentioned or at most passively considered. I would say so. But the presidency of President Bola Tinubu, I've not really seen so much.
All right, Idris, let me come to you. Do you think this government is having provision for the youth to actually function in the way they should, apart from the general unemployment that is even growing and all that? But in terms of being involved in governance, we understand that where they have experiences, they are always very uncomfortable with the youth for exuberance, laced with inexperiences and all that. But you still have to learn on the job, and there's always a first time. Where is this their fear of having the youths, come on board?
Okay, from the start, I feel like let me not just answer that direct, but I would say the youth have other focus. Yeah. If you feel like I am going towards this particular thing, I feel like I cannot get it, I'll look for another way out of that thing. So many youths now, you feel like they are going to schools, universities. You see most of these educational institutions like NANS, we have NAUS and some other. Those are the practical organizations that gives the youth the power to speak to them, to speak for themselves. So I feel people or the youth perhaps, they actually, embody in these particular organizations to, speak for themselves since the government don't have provisions for them. So I think these are the spaces.
All right. Thank you, Idris, on that. We'll take a 30-minute seconds break. Don't touch the dial. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stop. All right, thank you and welcome back to the show. Do yourself a very good thing for this Christmas and get that book. Thank you, Ekemini Udo, for joining us on this discussion. So I was coming to you before on them. You said you are not ready to talk down on this government. Do you think if the government, for example, let's just take example, you have Idris mentioned how Wike has done some roads in Babalada, giving him credit. We also have spending money, with accountability. We have Wike renovate, what's it called, International Conference Center that they have now renamed to Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center. With over 39 billion naira. They just said ordinarily 3 billion would do this, and a lot of people say there was miscarriage of, misuse of money. And at that time, even the children, Abuja students were on break. that they didn't ask for because the teachers have to strike and the government didn't attend to them. A lot of other things. Do you think when people, hold government officials accountable, that is talking down?
No, that's not talking down. I have my fair share of experience with how extravagant the officials of Nigerian government can really be with spending. I was driving the other day from AYA towards the Abacha Barracks.
Yeah, Abacha Barracks, yeah.
So I saw the solar project that go up some 10-point-something billion.
Yeah.
It's a well talked about thing. So I feel sincerely that there is so much of overspending on projects. When I say
like inflated
inflated contracts. When I say I am not interested in talking down on the government, what I actually meant is I am looking at what is this government doing right, because majority of the people are concerned about talking down, not necessarily talking down, criticizing what the government is not doing good. My little take is, could it be that this government generally isn't doing anything?
There's no way they would not be doing anything.
Very good. So
you wouldn't stop selling fuel at 165 naira and start selling it at 940 naira and not do anything. I mean, people will curse you now.
Very good.
So let's give Ekemini opportunity to chime into this discussion.
Okay.
As against expectation, like what we've been seeing across Nigeria, people are moving. Even people as big as governors, if not for Donald Trump's tweet. What created break now is because of Donald Trump tweet.
Yes.
We've not seen any governor move again. So we've not seen everybody has suspended their politics. They are running into security and insecurity, and it's a good one. That's what they should be doing in the first place, because it wasn't time for election. Now people have been moving, governors, senators, all the way from Labour Party, Obedient Circle, PDP, all into APC, to the extent that some are even scared that we are drifting towards one party state. But here in Kwara, some youths, which could be described as courageous, depending on the areas you're looking at it from, or from areas of interest. But again, they have a governor from APC, they have a president from APC, yet they decided to move towards to PDP.
Okay, like Mr. Z, right?
Yes.
Said that the question is are they moving because of the interest of the party that they are going to, or they are moving because of their personal interest? Because if you want to look at it, the ruling party is APC.
Yes.
And they have voiced they have aired their view. Yes, because they are not satisfied because of the hardship and all those things. But generally, nobody is satisfied. But let's also look at the result that we have been having from the PDP before the APC came
on board. Yeah.
So if the PDP were doing more than what the APC is doing now, then probably they are right to migrate or to move to the PDP. But if it is not on that basis, then I think it's more of a personal interest rather than probably serving the interest of the people.
Okay, interesting. Sometimes when personal interest coincides with the interest of the people, I don't think there's also anything wrong. Maybe you want to earn better, you also want, in attempt to earn better, you work harder. As you're working harder, you're earning more, and as you're earning more, you're paying more taxes to government. So you are prospering, and Nigeria is prosperous. So then we call it goal congruence, where your goal align with the goal of the organization or the goal of the nation. There's nothing wrong. I mean, we all have interest. Our nation, it should just not be in conflict with our national interest. So this hardship they are talking about and the neglect, were they referring to neglect of Nigerian people, hardship that Nigerians are facing, or just hardship that they are particularly facing? Now, the PDP they are going to, are they going to fight for a better life, or there is a promise waiting?
That's $1 million question. It's $1 million question, because the hardship they're talking about is felt by every Nigerian in every part of Nigeria. That's the simple truth. So it's difficult to say what they want to achieve by complaining what the ruling party is not doing in PDP. Well, so generally, my brother have rightly said here, you have also concurred, personal interest for me can be severed at some point from public interest. For example, if I have my political leader in the PDP, ordinarily I know that I should have no business to do in APC, because I wouldn't have anybody in APC who is going to look at me and consider that I am in APC. This is politics generally. Even the governors and other politicians that are moving from PDP to APC or from any other party to APC is because, first of all, in this country, what informs cross-carpeting is personal interest. Even if you're going to have a platform to serve the public interest, but first of all, you're serving your personal interest. The same thing comes down to the youth. So if you ask me personally, the hardship they talked about, the neglect they talked about, all of us feel it from everywhere we are in this country.
All right. If one of the reasons for their movement away from APC could be, he talked about Goodluck Jonathan's intentionality about the youth. And Jonathan, we knew, ran and won and was the president under PDP. If one of the reasons for them leaving the APC is the opportunity to run as youth, because they kept telling us not too young to run, but Asiwaju is our president and is running again. I mean, if he has a lifetime dream of being a president, he's already a president. You could as well say, let me bring out a very young person in APC to take over from me. He's already a president. I mean, they're already a president. There's nothing, a president is a president.
Yeah.
So could it be that these people, young ones, want to run? Because we are looking for youth to run. That exuberance, it has its advantage. Could it be that they want to run? And if that is the reason, opportunity of hearing your voice as a youth, would you say it's personal interest that is severed, according to him, from the national
Thank you for that question, sir. Like every other thing in life, there is always advantages and disadvantages to things. Okay. So the youth probably seeking for a power to be given to them to rule is a good thing, and it's also not a good thing, because if you are talking about experience in terms of politics and running the affairs of a country like Nigeria, I don't think the youth like me really have the political experience.
You don't have to start by being the president.
Okay.
I will disagree with him.
Okay, I'll come to you with that.
Okay. So that's generally a disadvantage on us. But I think
Gowon was barely just slightly more than your age when he became the head of state.
Exactly.
I think the records have it that he was they were scouting for a wife for him.
Okay. But so that was in the military regime.
Yeah, I mean, the president is that was all they had. It's even more courageous because civilian rule, people voted you.
Yes.
But military regime, you just force yourself on people. It's even more difficult.
Oh, okay. So I think, but even as at that, the inexperience can be curbed, right? Because we still have like advisors, special advisors that will be much more experienced. But I think it's high time the youth are being given the opportunity to be in power and to see what we can do as well. Okay. Yes.
Let me come to you, Zebis, again. He was saying that a nation complex, like Nigeria. I don't see a nation that is not complex.
Yes, of course.
This complexity they throw at the youth is just to scare them. There's no nation that is not complex. Yeah. There's no family unit that is not even complex. There's no classroom that is not complex. So everything in life is complex. Yeah. So when they use this thing to scare the youth away, and they keep failing in what they are supposed to do. I heard you say that you disagree with him.
Yes, completely. Leadership is something that one should not just desire. As a young person, you should work it out. You should work out the template of becoming a good leader, Okay, why I disagree with him basically is because, like you rightly pointed out, even in our current dispensation, I have a senator from my state who clocked 40 this year.
Okay.
He's my age.
You're from Cross River, right?
I'm from Cross River. Senator Asuko Ekpenyo.
Yeah.
From representing Southern Senatorial District of Cross River. Yeah. He just clocked 40, about my age. Yeah. Do you understand? And we had people way younger in age that have led this country in different capacities. Yeah. One thing I want to let him know is that leadership, elective leadership is not donated. Yeah. You have to decide and fight for it. Yeah. It is not donated. So as young people, we must learn to express our intention to lead in elective positions a different way. I mentioned to you before we came here that for me, there's a stereotype that our leaders have created and imprinted on us, the youth, that we've accepted hook, line, and sinker. That stereotype is that we should wait for our turn, a turn that will never come. And in order to wait, we go back queuing in lines that will never bring us to the fore. That is a problem. So right now, we really need to learn to strategize how to cut the gap, how to bridge the gap from where they want us to be and where we actually intend to be in leadership. If you check this country, very few youths are among these older men leading this country. Have you asked yourself why? These few youths probably know what majority of us don't know. Because if you really want to lead, you want to be accepted in the folk of the elders, our people say you have to wash your hands. Very well. That is just the problem. So you can't keep staying behind, protesting, doing the same thing, towing the same line, and you think it will change. You really need to think smart and act smart. I know Nigeria is a very materialistic society. Mm-hmm. Even our politics is so much sold to money. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? So because of this, young people find it very difficult to break the ranks and get themselves to where they desire to be.
All right. Politics of money. We saw what happened in Anambra State the other day. Youth whose father is not Dangote and who doesn't have a godfather, from the government, is unlikely to have money, to man all the polling units, to dole out to people so that they can vote for you to make their own life better. How do you think the youth should be able to break into that ranks? What method do you think they can, or they should just give up?
Oh, okay, sir. I don't think we should just give up. Yeah. Like, let me go back to what I said before. Yeah. I'm not a fan of old people in politics, actually. I was just trying to maybe say what the public and what, the masses have been having on the youth, that we don't have the experience. But personally, I prefer, with the way the world is going now, I prefer the youths to be more involved and given the opportunity to rule. Yeah. So coming back to your question,
what we have learned that nobody's going to give you the opportunity to rule. You are going to seek and ensure that you, God said, grab it and run. Maybe something close.
Okay, sir. So concerning the financial prowess of the youth to stand in the election, it in a country like Nigeria is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult because I don't know how many youths of my age have a good business, legal business that is running, that will give us money to be involved heavily in politics.
All right, now we have to get advocacy on board. We don't have the money, but we have the numbers. The youth have the numbers. We don't even know who qualifies for youth these days. But the younger people, the population is heavier downward than upward. So at least youth counts downwards, to the adult level than upward. So the youth still have the number. Why don't the youth leverage on the number?
I was going to come to that because I also know that money is not everything that counts in politics.
Yes,
we have the number resource. What you just said, I term it number resource. We have what the adults don't have, but there is something missing in between. I call it youth integration into the mainstream politics. Now, if you check back, the people leading this country today were if a little percentage of youths who who selected themselves, who kept themselves apart and integrated themselves with the people that were leading the country when Nigeria got their independence. That's the missing link today. The youth of today stay in their comfort zones and desire leadership. youth have to find a way to integrate with these elders. I am not against the elders not leading this country any longer. I am actually against despotic elders who want to stay in power forever. I am for the elders who have the accommodation for youth.
And there's a kind of secession.
A kind of secession.
Love,
That's what I am looking at. Yeah. Now, these two is not donated. Youth have to be intentional and go for it. That's right. You have to blend yourself into the elite class of those that are leading this country. Otherwise, you will always be you'll be edged out.
All right, we don't want to be edged out completely. The youth, you also can't just chase the older people away until you show some capability, to do all this. Now, let's talk about briefly before we leave on the numbers, the integration that he was talking about. Okay. The youth, those that have run close to the elders. Yes, you see them installed, them will say Godfather, whatever. But at the end of the day, the weight of corruption that the elders have, they want to use it to muzzle them in. And the circles of corruption continues. Either I make you a governor, I expect you to, dupe the state. No, dupe the state and give me back the entire resources for the next election that never ends. There's always the next election. So how can the youth integrate with these elders and show capability and not have your fingers soiled?
That's a tough one, sir. But example, recently we saw what happened between Wike and Fubara.
Now you talk about.
We saw what happened between Wike and Fubara.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into that details, but I think you have to, or we have to, go into the power. Yeah. For me, go into the power. Of course, we have these gatekeepers that are there to usher you in and all those. You play, if you want to play against their rule, you have the probability of having your way in, the chance is very slim. And I don't know how it's going to be. Maybe we just play by their rule, and when you go into
you change the rule.
you change the rule.
Let me give you one
please. Like he said, it's a difficult one.
Yeah.
But I am a very objective person. Yeah. It's very difficult for you to into office and not please the people that
change the rules halfway.
And change the rules halfway. But there is something that young people can really do, and it's going to become like a systematic pattern that changes the rule. It's not something you can just change at once, like the case of.
So there's going to be like transition.
Yeah, it's going to be transition. As a youth, if you are elected, for example, as governor. You come into office, you try to insert your own intentionality, your own personal intentionality before
but if
you come.
Try to prevent you from doing so?
Yes, you don't.
Because sometimes they can, this old dog can, if you say you want to appoint commissioners, they fill it up for you. You create a youth program, they bring one boy to head the program.
Yes.
They suffocate you.
Exactly.
They do as much as that.
At the end of the day, I agree with you. At the end of the day, what you should achieve as a youth governor is that if you create a program to, let's say, build capacity, maybe skill or something for the youth, even if they are giving you people to build capacity for, it should be that you actually build capacity.
All right, we've heard it from the youth themselves, the various ways to break through and get into the game and see if you can change it halfway, because you have to get into the game. Or try to create some transitional program, even while they are trying to suffocate you, giving you all your commissioners and the head of the programs you are creating, see the more you can do. But in some form, the youth have to integrate themselves. The youth have the numbers, and the youth need to start coming in, not as a coup to kill all the old ones, because we all grow old someday. My beards are white, so but the youth needs to get involved. Until next time on Youth and Gender, thank you for tuning in.